We're at the Blue Ridge Bookstore in Waynesville, North Carolina, in the middle of the Great Smoky Mountains, about an hour east of Tennessee. It's a character study of a woman who has chosen an unusual career, and she's an elite professional assassin. And we meet her as the book opens, and she's finishing up an assignment, and she's in her mid-60s, mid to early 60s, and looking to retire soon. Usually there's about a 6 to 8, 12 months gap between her assignments, but as soon as she finishes this one, she's contacted by her assigner, and she has another job. And so that's where the action begins. And in a series of flashbacks and conversations she has with her acquaintances and friends, she talks about her career, how she wound up in that type of career. I've tried to create somewhat of a conflicted character that might appeal to a variety of readers, regardless of their particular personal convictions, whether it be political or social or whatever. I wanted to address issues that would stir their interest, perhaps. For example, one scene talks about how, in spite of the fact that she kills people for a living, she got pregnant right out of college, and she went to Planned Parenthood in New York City, and with their assistance delivers the baby and gives it up for adoption. And the way the scene works out, she never even saw the child, so she has no idea whether she had a boy or a girl or who adopted it or anything, but she knows that somewhere out there in the world she has a child. And so I thought that was a bit of a paradox. Throughout my life and my career, I've been in retail most of my life, I've always felt like that it's unfortunate that women have to deal with the so-called glass ceiling. And I was talking to someone about my book, and I said, well, I've started off, the opening scene in fact depicts women in two different roles that are a bit atypical for women. And then I think, you know, that's an interesting paradox in itself. There shouldn't be roles in our society that are atypical for women. Mm-hmm. I have about 15 associates that work with me right in my department, and one of them is an older woman. She's over 70, and she's working now basically to have something to do every day. And she's really spry for her age, and she's an inspirational woman. Some of the things that she's done in her life and continues to do at her age. And I don't know where this came from, but one night we were teasing her about dealing with another associate, and I said, you know, you better be careful about her, because when she's not here at work, she puts on a black turtleneck and a mask, and she's a ninja warrior at night. And that got a big laugh, and we were having fun about it. And so then the more I got to thinking about the possibility of writing a novel, I said it would be really interesting to put a woman in a role that people wouldn't typically expect. You know, whether it be a professional assassin or a serial killer, which you hear of John Wayne Gacy and all of these serial killers. You don't hear very many women serial killers. There are bound to be some out there. We just don't hear about them. I've gotten probably subliminal inspiration from every woman that's been in my life throughout the years. I get the most overt inspiration and collaboration from my wife now, and she's very critical of my work and helps me correct mistakes, and she's also a soulmate that helps me. We think alike so much. Last night we were at an entertainment event, and something occurred, and we both started singing the same song at the same time. Started singing God Bless America, and I looked at her and she looked at me, and she said, because everyone was standing up, and she says, that's not the national anthem. And I looked at her and we smiled and we both started singing La Marseillaise. Remember that great scene from Casablanca?